Last week we toured the Luxe tiny house, which was out of this world. Today we're going to be taking a tour of their neighbor, the Scandi. Equally as cool, I think. So let's go check this tiny house out. We're in Berlin, Ohio once again today, in one of the largest Amish communities in the United States, which is such a cool experience, and there's plenty of fun things to do in this area. We are about 90 minutes from Columbus and 90 minutes from Cleveland, so if you're from the area or you really want to check out tiny houses, I would suggest continue watching this video because this is a sick tiny house. Today we are taking a tour of the Scandi tiny house on wheels. This is called the Scandi because this tiny house has a Scandinavian design to it, which is one of my favorites. This tiny house is a little smaller than the neighbors that we showed last week, so you might like it better or not, but it is unique in its own way, and it's honestly just as cool as the last one. So if you haven't seen last week's video, watch that one after this one to get the gist of both of them. If you do want to book these places, the links are down below. They're both on Airbnb, or I provide the host's website as well. You can book through there. When you arrive, you walk down the lit path in the woods here, and this leads all the way to your tiny house. This is your own private path, while the other tiny house has its own private path, so you'll never have to bump into the neighbors, which is very nice. The Scandi has a beautiful look to it with the black and brown color palette, the geometry of all the wood on the outside. It just looks so good. The huge windows look gorgeous, and the deck that spans the entire length of the tiny house is a huge bonus, and it's a great quality deck. The landscaping here is also very superb, very luxurious feeling at these tiny houses. On this end, you have a couple seating options with an umbrella and a privacy wall. You may be worried about how close these tiny houses are, but the hosts strategically face them opposite of each other and both have a privacy fence, so it feels very private here, which is nice. In between the tiny houses, there's a garden actually, which is a nice touch. Let's walk up on the deck and into the tiny house and check it out for ourselves. Instantly, you'll feel how open and airy it is in here. The owners designed all of this, which they did an incredible job with. The 12-foot ceilings and all the windows seriously adds so much space in here to make it feel even larger than what it actually is. This has a unique layout to it, so I think you guys will really like it. Let's start with the right side here, which is your living space. There's a couch here that can be converted into a sleeper sofa. You can sit here and watch TV, which is located on the wall across the kitchen. It may look far away, but this is a tiny house, so looks can be deceiving. It's not that bad at all. Your kitchen and dining space is next with the gorgeous shiplap everywhere. The kitchen has a cornered shelf here with games and some appliances. Above this is your coffee station with local coffee provided and floating shelves for all of your dishes. There's plenty of cabinet space as well, and above is your sink area. The countertop is a fun one here, and I think it looks really great compared with everything else in here. Lastly, your refrigerator is at the end tucked away, and I like how it's propped up here, and it's placed very nicely in here. It's not just a mini fridge kind of sticking out like in some tiny houses. It actually looks like it's supposed to be here. Behind this is your dining area with two chairs looking out into your property through this huge window. They provide baked goods here for you as well, so you can't go wrong with that.
Thank you, Kevin and Liz. These are so good. I don't know if you made them or if they're break and bake, but they are delicious and they're so squishy.
This table rounds off to let more space in for the steps, but we'll get to that in a second. The sliding door next to the steps goes into your bathroom. Similar to the last tiny house, this bathroom is underneath your bed space, which allows for a much bigger bathroom area, and who does not like that? And here you'll have a washer-dryer combo, then you have your toilet, and then your vanity over here on the right side. It looks and matches everything else in this tiny house. And then of course your walk-in tiled shower. You're not missing a single ounce of space in here. I think it is all very normal sized, and I would give this bathroom a 10 out of 10 for being in a tiny house and just the size of this bathroom. We will walk out of that and up to the steps, which the steps have storage in them, which is nice. And now we'll enter into your bedroom loft space. Up here is where you'll be sleeping while visiting this tiny house. Plenty of space, even with a generously sized bed up here. You can lower this railing, which looks incredible. I love how they designed the railing in these tiny houses. By unlatching it and folding it down, this feature is so creative, as well with the step that unfolds at the bottom to be able to get into the bed easier. Up here, you will have a shelf behind your bed and a skylight up here. You can sleep under the stars up here. The hosts nailed it with this tiny house, I think. Who wouldn't want a skylight for a clear night to be laying here and looking up at the stars? And even if you don't like it, you can close it, which is very nice. Even on a rainy night, here in the rain, pelt on it is nice. Or if you like to get up by the sun, this lets in even more light. It's pretty unique. At the bottom of your bed is a spot for your clothes to hang and a spot for your luggage. So that is it for your tiny house on the inside, but we are not finished yet. The other tiny house had a jacuzzi bathtub. This tiny house has its own outdoor sauna. Just 30 feet from your tiny house along the path we walked to get here is your outdoor space. Here you have a fire pit, a sauna, and an ice bath barrel. The sauna looks really cool among these trees. You just get in, steam up, enjoy your time, and if you want, fill up the ice barrel with cold water and hop in it to cool off. Doing this process lets your blood vessels contract and expand from the cold and hot, which I hear is very good for your health. That's why all the Nordic people and even other cultures do this. But who am I to give health advice? I just tour tiny houses. Back to the Amish community aspect and where we are located, there's lots of great things to do in the area. There's great restaurants that have locally grown food, and it seems like people really know how to prepare food in the Amish country. It tastes incredible. There's tons of antique shops. That's one of my favorite things to do, is go to the antique shops and see what that's all about and see what I can get. There's farmhouse decor shops everywhere if that's your style, or if these tiny houses are your style. There's plenty of decor shops for that. There's an Amish comedy club here. There's farms that you can take tours of and go and check out the animals. Some of them have exotic animals, which is really cool too. And you can take a wagon and ride across all of it. And that is all within like 10 minutes of this tiny house spot. It's not like a huge city at all. This is just a really neat community. And if you haven't ever experienced the Amish community, I would highly suggest it. You can see them riding their horse and buggies, which is super cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Please share them if you liked them. Let me know which of the two tiny houses you liked better, the Lux or the Scandi. For me personally, I like them both for what they were, but that bathroom really sold me in the Lux. But I really like just the feel of the Scandi for some reason. I don't know. So I don't know which one's my favorite. Anyway, I'll see you guys in next week's video. Thumbs up everywhere you get while staying here, which I highly... Oh my gosh. That was a bad voice crack.